For years, I had a recurring feeling that my body was near a breaking point, that I was going to get ill if I kept pushing. But I couldn't stop and rest. Everything rested on my shoulders: the kids, breadwinning, cooking, cleaning, laundry, and my husband's behavior. I couldn't stop. There was no one to take over the rudder. I had been sick before. At 15, I was hospitalized with Guillain-Barré syndrome, a progressive paralysis of the body. At its worst, I was paralyzed up to my chest and couldn't care for myself. I was lucky. I recovered almost completely, but it made me deeply aware. Illness can strike suddenly. Stress, abuse, sleep deprivation, lack of support. Scientific studies show that narcissistic and abusive relationships increase the risk of illness and poor health. This is episode 5 of the Abuse Case Files, where we investigate toxic relationship dynamics, their effect on your body and mind, and how to rebuild. I'm Emma, a medical doctor, a survivor of domestic violence and narcissistic abuse. This video is for educational purposes, and it's not a substitute for medical care. If you are experiencing symptoms, please see your family physician. Also, if you find this video helpful, click the thumbs up and comment below if you have experienced symptoms during abuse. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.
Let's open case file number 5.
This woman is not doing well.
This case... Nej, stopp nu. Du är jobbigt, tack. This case requires a different kind of investigation.
Illness and even death are part of life's cycle, but there are factors that affect our risk. Smokers, for example, are more likely to develop lung cancer. Overweight people are at higher risk for type 2 diabetes and joint problems. But not everyone exposed to a risk gets sick. Protective factors, genetics, and chance also play a role. Take diabetes. Your risk increases with family history, smoking, being sedentary or overweight, but it decreases if you exercise, eat vegetables and slow carbs, and avoid alcohol. It's rare to get diabetes if you do everything right. So, in a group exposed to multiple risk factors, more people develop disease earlier in life. Living with an abusive partner is absolutely a stressor.
Have you heard of power poses? The way we move signals to the brain whether we are dominant or submissive, and this affects hormone levels. Dominant postures decreases stress hormones and boost testosterone, and submissive postures do the opposite. In an abusive relationship, you're constantly on edge, attacked, criticized, overthinking, and overextending. You are likely the main caregiver too. Stress triggers the sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight response. Your heart races, breathing intensifies, higher reasoning shuts down. It's meant to protect you from danger, like a wolf in the woods. But what if the threat is sleeping right next to you? Chronic stress means elevated adrenaline and cortisol. The parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest mode, shuts off. This is when the body's maintenance system breaks down and symptoms begin to appear. These symptoms are often caused by an imbalance between the body's stress system, the sympathetic nervous system, and its system for healing and maintenance, the parasympathetic nervous system. The good news: when you enter a calm, safe, and conflict-free environment, the body can begin to make the shift from surviving to healing and maintenance, and symptoms can often lessen or even disappear. If you have been diagnosed with a disease, that may not go away, but the symptoms may improve as the stress eases. Even if you can't leave right away, here are small things that can reduce the toll on your system. Don't try to do everything. He'll criticize you anyway. Say that you're not feeling well. You don't need to explain. Walk away from arguments. Go outside. A short walk in nature calms the system. If you find a quiet moment, enjoy it. Don't fill it with chores. These breaks help clear your mind and give you the clarity and strength to move forward. Here are some common stress-related symptoms: headaches, anxiety, sleep disturbances, acne, IBS or digestive issues, sweating, appetite changes, fatigue, and a lower sex drive. That one is quite interesting. Lower libido. Is the Hollywood cliché of the nagging wife with a headache just more gaslighting? And what's more, these symptoms won't bring you any sympathy or help from the abuser. They will become ammunition. When I worked full-time and cared for the kids and took care of the household and the cooking, my unemployed husband would exercise and groom for hours daily. He would eat healthy meals that I'd made. If I forgot the salad, he would have a fit. And then he would berate me for being undisciplined. Have you experienced anything like this? Comment below. What the research says. Chronic stress increases the risk of depression. Abuse is linked to fibromyalgia. Stress raises the risk of autoimmune disease. Stress can cause takotsubo, broken heart syndrome. Loneliness and bad relationships increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Kristina Orth-Gomér was a Swedish researcher. She showed that in men, stress levels often decrease when they return home after work, but in women, they go up again when they come home as they are faced with household chores and relationship strains. She showed that a bad romantic relationship is one of the most damaging stressors for women's health, especially if the husband struggles with addiction, infidelity, or illness. Kristina Orth-Gomér unfortunately passed away in 2020, but her work continues to shine light on matters that are often ignored. A woman I know once said, "I couldn't even relax while in the bathroom. I was using cleaning wipes to clean the sink and floor while I sat there. Driving to work, I would cry thinking something has to give." The body takes a toll, but what about your personality? Did you become someone you did not recognize? Did you shrink your dreams and silence your needs? Speak more carefully? Stop laughing or being spontaneous? Trade your goals for keeping the peace? Today's reflective questions. What parts of yourself faded away? What roles did you take on to survive? What parts of yourself do you want to reclaim? We have now looked at 5 clues: the love bomb trap, your vulnerabilities, the abuse cycle, the manipulations, and number 5, the toll on your body and mind. The consequences were massive, but because they happened so slowly, they were easy to overlook. It's horrifying to realize that the man who claimed to love you was hurting you. He wasn't just part of the problem, he was the poison in the soup. But why? Why did he do it? We'll look into that tomorrow. We have come a long way, but there is still more to uncover. Click the link below and get your free journal. Start to reflect on today's clue. If you're watching this later, you will also find a link there to my ebook, where I go even deeper into these dynamics. I am Emma, holding up a light over the bridge. Remember, there is always a way out. There is always a way forward. Please be safe, take care, and have a great day.